slight shift here, a tough subject. Put Dave Schulman on the spot here, domestic violence. And Dave, you do a lot of work with children, not to say that one necessarily has anything to do with the other, but I know that's a big focus of yours as well. And so when the domestic violence issue comes up, you're commonly involved. How often are there domestic violence issues out there?
I would say in probably 70% of the cases with children, some domestic violence issues pop up. And they also pop up for spousal support because of the statute 4325 that says if you're convicted of domestic violence, there's a presumption you should not be able to receive spousal support. So spousal support, domestic violence runs all through a dissolution, whether it's custody, support, property rights, and of course, more than anything else, stay away and stuff like that.
70%?
I would say about, don't put me on the spot, but I say it comes up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's often the main issue, but it comes up.
That's high.
That's, higher than I would have expected. So you talk about a variety of impact, and here I have a hotline on here, right? We have kathyslegacy.com.
Yes.
Is one of the places. Why don't you talk about some of the support that you have there for
Well, if you're a victim of domestic violence, there's some resources. You can call Kathy's Legacy, you can call the Family Justice Center, and you can call the Center for Hope and Strength. I always tell people that if you're in that type of a situation, take whatever steps necessary you need to do to protect yourself and, of course, your children. I think that's important. You know, the problem is a lot of people use the domestic violence statutes to go in and gain an advantage, and that's kind of sad because it makes things worse for the people who really need those restraining orders.
Right, services. So go through one more time, because I think it's really crucial. The support services that you had mentioned, go through this one more time, because I think those are crucial.
Yes, Kathy's Legacy, and you can find them at kathyslegacy.com. I don't have the website for Family Justice Center, but I imagine you can Google it and find out, and the Center for Hope and Strength.
There's also the domestic violence hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. 1-800-799-SAFE. Dave, you mentioned, because I think it's worth mentioning, that that some people use domestic violence as a tool in their divorce, and hopefully it doesn't happen where it's just plain untrue. But
it happens a lot of times where it's just plain untrue.
Why would they do that?
Because with the domestic violence statutes, and for those watching, it's Family Code Section 3011 and 3044, there is a presumption that you should not have legal custody or any type of visitation if a domestic violence is perpetrated and children are involved. That's domestic violence. The effect on children is the word I'm looking for, I guess, is harsh, and the effects are long term. The studies are on domestic violence in children. As we get into it more, we're finding more and more stuff out about their long term relationships. They have problems with other spouses when they get married, with siblings, you know, just in their day-to-day life. But yes, people go in and they will, not uncommon, Lauren will tell you the same thing, somebody will go in right before the holidays and get a domestic violence restraining order, which cuts off all contact between the person restrained and the child. And you really, for about 20 days, can't see that child unless you go back into court and show good cause why it didn't happen. And a lot of judges will just say, come back in 20 days.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do this show at the end of the year was, at least my recollection was that these issues get worse towards the end of the year, towards the holidays, that it just comes up more and that more people might use it as kind of a bad tool.
Yeah, some people like to use it around the holidays to gain an advantage. I keep using the word to gain an advantage. It's more of a tool to change visitation or something. A lot of times, if one parent has visitation scheduled or a trip scheduled for a week, we've seen it that the other parent will go in and get a domestic violence restraining order, which automatically cuts off their custody, and they can ruin their vacation. And you know, they're not really. It's very what we call parent-centered. They're not thinking of the children. Now, if something actually happened, that's completely different. But I'm just talking about the person who just goes in there blindly and makes allegations.
And I had a question I asked you before we came in here is if you're a parent and your child is being abused, and I want to get help. I'm a parent. I want to get help for my child. Will they automatically take your child away if you call someone to get help?
Well, not necessarily. The first thing you do, and I'm going to tell everybody, is you call Child Protective Services. Anytime you call them, it's anonymous. They can't release who called that person, but their job is to make sure the children are safe. So if you are out of an abusive situation, then that'll take care of the matter, and they'll probably have you go get a restraining order or tell you to go somewhere. If the perpetrator, I call it the perpetrator, if the individual, the alleged abuser, is in the home, they may or they may not remove that person, but they will take any step necessary to ensure the children are safe. That could be from a safety plan to removing the children. A lot of times, I shouldn't say a lot of times, if it continues and you continue to put the children in an unsafe situation, they could take the children away from both parents because
Right.
you're failing to protect that child.
Right. That was my question.
Yes, they could do that.
So if your child is being abused, if I'm the mom, my child's being abused, I report it, but I stay in the situation with the child, they might take the child.
Yeah, I mean, they can. I mean, they're there to protect the child, and they'll probably tell you 3 or 4 times, do something, and if you don't, and they keep getting calls, there is a possibility they will take that child away from both parents and at least put you in the juvenile court system so they can protect the child.
We're talking with Dave Schulman. He is a certified family law specialist at Moore, Schulman and Moore. Their website is msmfamilylaw.com. So Moore, Schulman and Moore, familylaw.com. So msmfamilylaw.com. So you get appointed by the court a lot of times to help children. It's not just domestic violence, but where children need to have a voice in a divorce case.
Yes, in a family law matter. If children need representation, there's a list of people who go through specialized training and were appointed by the court to represent that child on a number of situations. Some of it is to see if their medical records should be considered by the court. Some of them are to have the child speak to the court. Some of them are to protect a child's privilege. Some of them are to, I mean, there's a whole number of things. If there's what we call a move away, where one parent wants to leave with a child to represent that child.
So as an attorney, you help with those issues, but there's other professionals that you can get involved too. There's therapists that are specifically trained for children.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I always tell people, when you're an attorney for a child, you are, I call it the head coach effect, that you are the head coach and you're to put people around you who will give the court the information you want to relay to the court. Your job is not just to walk in and blindly tell the court, well, here's what my client, the 6-year-old, wants, and that's what you should do. You need to get unbiased, good information to the court. And I use a lot of resources for that. I call in a lot of favors too.
We're talking with Dave Schulman. He is a family law specialist at Moore, Schulman and Moore. Their website is msmfamilylaw.com, msmfamilylaw.com.